I know you've heard me say over the years, this opportunity for teachers to work together on things that they find meaningful, things that they want to do, things supported by the research, will result in amazing schools, amazing programs for their kids. And it has. We want socially, emotionally healthy students that are ready to do what they want to do at the next level of learning, whatever that level of learning might be. Whether they're leaving the primary school and going into the intermediate school, going into the middle school, going into pre-college level classes in the high school, going to college, going into the workforce, going into the military. Where are they going, and are they ready to be successful when they get there? There's no mention of tests up here. That's not to say tests aren't necessary or important at some point. They very well may be. But that wasn't what drove us.
A day in the life of a Commack Elementary student encompasses engaging the student in academics as well as developmentally appropriate movement throughout the day. It is, in fact, a balanced day. Each day, students experience learning opportunities that challenge their thinking while also allowing for active movement. The overarching goal of all of our programs on the elementary level is to support the students' social-emotional development, cultivate their thinking, and keep them moving in engaging, fun activities.
I feel like there's so many things, but probably the one thing I hope that they take with them is that they are special and they are cared for, and when they come into my library, that we're not just coming into a room that has books and computers and technology, that they are coming in to experience something, that they are having an adventure, that this is a cozy place, that they feel warmed and welcomed, and for them to take that with them. I'm lucky to be one of the 4 specials, and I really want them to feel like when they come here they are special and cared for and loved.
I felt like if they pretended they were bees, they would see what it was like to be in actual nature doing what bees actually do. So I figured that would make them retain the information a little bit more if they were pretending to be bees.
Well, I learned that bees are really important because they pollinate and make food and crops for us to live.
There's such a family feel in Commack, and especially here at Northridge, and the support here is just amazing. And the wonder and the enthusiasm of my students is really what keeps me coming back every day. What I hope they take away from my class, in addition to, of course, growing academically, socially, and emotionally, is that they know that they were cared for, that they were believed in, and that they are proud of who they are and who they're becoming. What I hope they take away from my class, in addition to, of course, growing academically, socially, and emotionally, is that they know that they were cared for, that they were believed in, and that they are proud of who they are and who they're becoming.
I hope that they love learning and that I foster a love of learning in them, and my love of learning is kind of passed along on to them, and I hope they know that each one of them is cared for in the year that they're with me, and I hope they go on to be successful intermediate students at Burr and adults.
Well, our scientists are going to, first of all, they're going to understand about physical weathering, what the components are, that it's more than just water happening and the different types of precipitation. It's also the combination of that and also movement of rocks and so forth that causes the hitting of rocks, which is abrasion. So they're learning a few new vocabulary words today.
How we were observant about how the rocks changed and the water changed in their form. So we were learning about rocks and how, like, when they're in the water and when, like, weather happens or, like, when people are around. Things like the rocks start to get smaller because the rocks, like, dissolve into the water, and it kind of makes, like, little clumps.
So we lost 6/10 of a gram, right?
I see their smiles light up when they make connections with the language they're learning, the smiles they make when they're making connections with their peers and people around them, and their smiles when they feel like they're finally becoming a part of the culture here and their environment. I would say the one thing that I most hope my students take away is that they feel important and that they are actually a voice in their own learning.
Like my 3rd grade teacher, Mrs. Mazer, she always came to my shows, and my 4th grade teacher too. They always supported me in everything I've ever done, so everybody has kind of just supported me around here. This is probably the year that I've made the most friends. Every time I step into a new grade level, I've always made a lot more friends, and it keeps growing, and I never lose the old ones, and it's always from Commack, and I stick with them, and I think it's just a great community. When I started in elementary school, there was a lot of new people, like I said before, and I didn't really know how to quote fit in, but so I started to write the song, and my own song inspired me to do what I've always wanted to do, to be myself. So if you're in elementary school right now, just be yourself and people will accept you for who you are. You can't do anything better than be yourself. Nobody can be you. You have to do what you were meant to do, and you will just be you. You will do everything that you've ever wanted to do.
Just chase your star.